So guys, welcome back to this channel. In this video I'm going to be sharing my positive friends to lover story. Obviously it's a good one. This is part of what brought me to the point where I am today. So in the year 2008 I got admission into the university, and this my particular friend, while I was in 100 level, it was in 500 level. I didn't even really notice him too. That time, I remember vividly that we had one encounter, I think once. It was even the one that made people know that I'm the outspoken type. I don't know how you got to know, but all I could remember when he was in school with us was I was telling somebody that I'm not gentle, that they just see me as somebody that is gentle, that I'm actually not gentle, blah blah blah. So he graduated and left, and I had his contact. So those times whenever I wanted to get in touch with all my contacts, I would just do random flashing. And is one of those people that, as in, if nobody calls me back out of all my contacts, it's very sure that this brother will call me back. Like, I don't know how he does it, but he calls me back. At the moment he calls me, the first thing he says is hello arabinrin. I will just smile. Like, so from there, if I post something on Facebook, whatever it is that is bothering me, he will be the first person that will call me. He usually calls me or send a message to me through my inbox. So from there we started getting close. Like, we would do lengthy calls. Whenever I flash him and he calls back, we'll just try to find out how I've been faring, how I've been getting in touch with my friends. He asks me if I've been getting in touch with our mutual friends, how I've been coping, how life has been lately, and all that. We just get to talk, like, generally. So when the time of BBM came, we exchanged BBM pins, and we got talking more. We got talking more from there. Though it was a gradual thing, it wasn't something that was just sudden like that. The friendship grew, like, from small till things got better. And it got to a point that he was like the only person that I usually chatted with, like, often. You always have this friend that if you don't communicate in a day, it will be as if there is a part of you that is missing. Like, we just got to that point that it became more like a brother, and we communicated virtually everything. Like, if there was a major achievement in his life, I was the first person to know. If there is anything I achieved too, he was the first person to know. Like, just like that, that person that is not part of my family, that gets to know everything per time, it was that person. We just got to that point that everything just flows like that. Like, the first person to be in the know if there's anything new, just like we just got to that point, chatter. We just flow that way. And there was a time we went to Lagos for a program, so I invited him to come over because he's been working in Lagos before that time. So that was when he got to know my family members. And my mom made one statement when he left, that your friend is so cool. Like, he's a calm person. Before we continue, this is Follow Me Home, where we talk about relationships through family, story times, experiences, and vlogs. Please click on the like button, comment, subscribe, click on the notification bell, and also share with your loved ones. So after that time, we even got more closer because he would ask after almost everybody in my family, like ask after everybody. So there was a time, okay, it was on my birthday in 2014 precisely. His phone got spoiled, and he did birthday wish for me on his DP, as in display picture. So it was my picture that was there. and unfortunately the phone spoiled. So like for a long time, in fact till it changed its phone, because he didn't repair the phone, he had to get another one. So my picture was on his DP and several persons called him like, bros, what's up with this sister, is she the one, and all that, you know. Meanwhile, there was a day he just sent something to me that if I come back one day from work and I discovered that my mother-in-law has given my children tribal marks, how will I feel? And I was like, what was this one? So I just responded that I can't marry a child of an illiterate in the first place. That's the first thing. And for that fact, I don't think it can happen to me. So he just said, so if my mother is an illiterate, you cannot marry me. I was like, what is this we're talking about? I was confused. I just ignored, because at that point I had not gotten to the point where I would decide whether I actually wanted him as my future partner. But we were actually flowing well. To be honest, we were actually flowing well. But when he asked that question, I was just like, what is this brother trying to say? So I just ignored it and we moved on. We still continued. Not long after, I had to go to Lagos to look for a job, which I got a place to manage then. So I would go to work. Whenever I was going home, if I asked him that I should branch now, I would branch and come and live. Like, he just got used to branching. Somebody that stays in Ojota, works in Lekki, going home, instead of him to go straight from Lekki to Ojota, he would branch in my office at Surulere. Most times based on my request anyway, like he would just come around, and those times I used to call him bro, as in like, bro, I don't so he will come to the office. In fact, it got to a point that my boss already knows him. You know, that kind of situation where your boss will finish reading newspaper and give to your visitor. Like the CEO. My boss did not ask me for once that who is this man that is always coming around. He didn't question me for once that who is this person. I don't know, probably his personality or whatever, I don't know, even till now. Sometimes he offers him sweet. Just imagine him helping me to entertain my visitor. Most times when I remember, I just smile. I don't know how all those things happened anyway. I still keep wondering that why was everything like aligning that time. So there is this man that used to take me home from work that time. That time we were staying around the same place, so he would drop me at the nearest bus stop to my house. Most times my friend would drop at Anthony and take vehicle to Ojota. So on our remaining journey, this man would ask me, how is this guy to you? I'll be like, he's just a friend. He said, no, this person cannot just be a friend, and he comes to see you almost every time in the office. Like, that man was on my neck. He said, you have to ask him what he wants. You know, the first thing he asked me was whether I was in a relationship. I said no. He asked whether my friend was in a relationship. I said no, because I actually knew everything about him. So I told him no. He didn't have a relationship. I didn't have. And this guy comes to my office. He said, this guy wants something from me. I said, I don't know until he opens his mouth to tell me. So the man was like, you have to ask him more. Tell him to define this relationship. In fact, the man mandated me to ask him, what do you want from me? Hey, it took me days. It took me weeks before I could summon up that courage to ask him. And he said, well, for me, nothing, we are just friends. Okay, I said, okay. So now, if I have a relationship now, this brother won't feel like I just took advantage of me. Of course, it was involved in most of the things I do. It was giving me money. Yes, I won't lie to you. In fact, for a long time, he was doing my subscription for me every month because he couldn't afford. I wasn't working, so he couldn't afford me not communicating with him. You know, BBM subscription now, it was once in a month, and I couldn't afford it at that time. So he took it upon himself to be subscribing for me. He sent me pocket money like that. So I told that man everything. I said, this is the situation. I don't want this man to feel like I just wasted his time too. At the same time, you know, probably he didn't know what to say. He didn't know how to ask me out. So we're just like flowing along. He would find every opportunity to come and see me, like, you know, that kind of thing. And as at that time, it was here to ask me out. So I just thought about everything. I asked him, bros, can we define this relationship? Do you want anything from me? He said no. So I was fine. I didn't feel bad because literally I don't think I have anything to lose. Literally, I didn't think I had anything to lose. You know, he has invested much as friends. Anyways. And my own was just to be the company keeper. We chat on phone. He calls me, updates me. Like, I was just that go-to friend that whenever something was bothering his mind, he would tell me. So after everything, I was like, okay, now we can move. So it was, it's somehow affected how we were flowing. Like, you know, since I knew he didn't want anything from me, the zeal to communicate with him was not even really there. And the fact that I already asked him, so that brother will not be thinking that this sister is expecting something. So I just paused for that time. We're still talking, but not like the back to back thing. So it was about 2 weeks after that I just started me up that he's been down lately. Something has been bothering his mind seriously, and he's just confused. So I was like, is this something you want to share? Would you like to share with me so that we'll trash it out if it's something that I can help? I didn't even know that it was about me. So like, he didn't want to speak out. Later I was like, will you be ready to listen to me? I said, why not? God. So he said, actually what happened is he was about to take a major decision, and 95% of it depends on me, and the 5% depends on other things. That day I was in the office. I first took a deep breath, and I was like, what is all this about me? Like, we were confused. So I had to first pause. I thought of some things that hope it's not that it won't, as in, I was just confused at that point. I didn't know, like, since he already told me that he didn't want anything, I already erased that from my mind. So I couldn't just imagine what he wanted to say. But he told me that 95% was about me, and the remaining 5% was on other things. So he just said, will you agree to be my wife? Hey, Father Lord. Just like that of BBM. Hey, Lord. I said, this kind of matter, we cannot talk it on phone. In fact, on chats, you have to come. I have to look at you like, do you mean it? Will you look at me eyeball to eyeball and ask me that question? So I told him, if you don't come, that was the end. And the following day, brother came. He got to my office before me. He got to my office before me, and you know that kind of thing, we cannot talk it in the office. So I had to take him to where I usually bought food. There was I don't know whether it's still existing till now, but as at then, that was the major place where we usually bought food that time. So we went there together, and he said actually he didn't send the message to make me feel little, that he just wanted to prepare my mind, that he actually planned coming one-on-one and all that. And that was why he asked, I want you to be my wife. This one. I said, brother, have you thought about it? I don't want you to wake up tomorrow and tell me you're just joking. Remember the previous story. I don't want you to come tomorrow and tell me you're just joking about it. Have you thought about it? Are you sure? You know me very. So that was how I told him that he should just give me time. Let me just think about it. I didn't think about it for a long time anyway, because it was my friend already. So like the only thing that I left to do was to just pray about it. Do you understand? Because I was already familiar with him, and though I still had to do some things, like we had to still blend in some ideologies. So but it wasn't so difficult for me. This relationship was a seamless one that actually brought us to where we are today. So guys, this is my positive friends to lovers story. It was a smooth journey. I loved it, and I'm still loving it. Well, the person in question is actually my husband today, and that was how the and one funny thing, let me not forget to say this, nobody in my family ever objected our friendship. Not even one person. Not even one person. In fact, there was a time I was not feeling fine that I had to leave Lagos to Osun State to meet my parents so that I would be properly taken care of. And he came all the way from Lagos to come check up on me. Then we just started a relationship. So I just told my father that he's my friend. My father was impressed that somebody came to check up on you from Lagos. You know, in fact, for me, that was the height of it. And one thing is, you know, as a baby Christian now, I just wanted a confirmation from God. You know, I didn't pray that I should be sick so that I would know to the extent to which He's caring anyways. But I just told God, I wanted a confirmation. And that was like the kind of confirmation I needed, because I could see the extent to which He's caring, at least as at that time. And you know, the level of His sacrifice, He could sacrifice for me, not like the other person that came around for a wedding and couldn't even branch. So you know, I began to weigh those things, as in I began to compare, and it's made it even easier for me to like, this is the bus stop. No one moving anywhere. Oh God. So guys, this is the summary. Yes, it's actually summary. This is actually summary. This is the summary of my positive friends to lovers story. The brother of that day, I didn't remember to tell you. After everything, at the point of agreeing, I just told him, but do you know that I won't be able to call you brother again? Not see me. Yes, now, because I was calling him bro, and I felt if I continue calling him bro, I won't be free with him. So I told him, please permit me to be calling you your name. And from that point, yes, you know, later you get to know the first person to say I love you. I'm still going to bring you another gist. So guys, watch out. Catch ya. Please do not close this video without clicking on the subscribe button. Please do not forget to click on the like button, and please drop your comments if this story is hitting your body, or if it interests you and you really like it. Please let me see in the comment section. And please, if you have a question, please do not hesitate to ask. I await your feedbacks in the comment section. Please, you can share with your friends and loved ones. Let us build this channel. Let us build this community. So guys, watch out. Catch ya later. Somebody shout glory.